This one in particular was it was a large group of seniors, with 6 of them. So it just made for a bigger celebration just simply based on numbers. And then you also have that conundrum where the right thing to do is to start your seniors. But when you have 6 of them and you can only start 5, decisions have to be made. And I thought the fairest thing to do and the right thing to do, Liz has started every game of her career at Pinkerton Academy. Unless she was sick, not here, or injured, Liz was starting. So I kind of pulled her aside and told her she was going to be the 6th man that game, which she totally embraced. So I thought that was also nice, that idea of celebrating each other, and Liz kind of understood that it was time to give the other 5 a little bit of a celebration.
Happy that everybody could get a chance to start. I mean, I've started pretty much every game, so I was just happy that they got the opportunity to do that. I know they were super excited about that. Plus I got to do the handshakes, which was really fun. Never had to do that before. I was definitely nervous that I was going to remember all the handshakes, but yeah, overall it was fun. It was good to see those 5 get the opportunity to start too. Introductions were fun. I didn't know what I was doing. I did have to ask where I went in the middle of them, but once I figured that out, it was fun. Just to kind of run out and have your team around you, and then all the cheerleaders, and I could see, because like I had a ton of friends and family all at the game, and I could just all see them sitting ahead of me where I was running in, and that was just cool to see everybody. And then getting to stand there on the court and high five my teammates, see the other team, it just felt really real in that moment, and it was just exciting.
It was really fun. I got to do it a couple times last year, so it was kind of stepping back into that role it was different, but also it felt kind of homey since I have done it before. But I thought it was really good, and it was fun because Liz and I always have a handshake, so we still got to do the same one, so there was some routine in it. Before the first game, we were kind of hustling to figure it out in the stands. I have a couple handshakes with some of the girls that we've had for years, and we just used that, but we kind of just looked up some inspo and combined a bunch of handshakes that we liked and kind of added our own personality to it. And that's just kind of how we created it. But I remember before the first game, I was literally in the locker room going through the motions of all the handshakes because I didn't want to mess them up. So it's definitely hard to remember them all, but it's so fun, and I love doing it with the girls.
It was just an awesome night for everybody. I think we all just had so much fun. All the underclassmen just did such a great job making it such a special night for us. And then I think at the beginning of the game it kind of threw us off a little bit just because it was so different, but once we finally settled in, it was good to get the win, and just overall just a great night for everybody.
It was fun. The team, all the juniors and underclassmen who put everything together, did such a good job. The seniors, were kept out of it and all the planning process, but we were so excited when we saw the gym and everything.
It went really well. I thought there was definitely a lot of things we had to adapt to with the change in the lineup and the subbings and everything, just and our warm-up not being the same. There's just so many things that we needed to adapt to, and I felt like we did pretty well with adapting to it. Also with Goffstown being a really good team, just having to overcome those things and still play a good game in order to win.
I definitely was sad, but it definitely was fun, and I'm glad that we all got our last, it's not the last, but a last hoorah for regular season. It was definitely a bittersweet moment. I definitely felt it halfway through the game, and I was I'm sitting there, and I'm I won't play with Liz, after this. We'll practice together at Saints, but I won't play a game with her, after this. So that definitely hit me. But otherwise, it was sad and fun all at the same time.
I thought it went very well. I thought each of them got their own recognition, but what I think is really special about them is just their unity together. So I wanted to honor that as well, that while they are, 6 of them together are great, I did want a little bit of, why Tegan is special on her own and why Soph is special on her own. So that we did a really good job of that. And if you looked at anybody, if anybody was feeling that evening the most, it was Julia. Julia was crying before anyone had even spoke, which is it just represents how much this team means to her and how much these people mean to her and how much Julia means to all of them. So for me, that moment I looked over and saw Julia just crying. It's just nice reminder that all this stuff really matters. And it's not really basketball, it's all the other stuff that really matters too. So yeah, I thought it was a good night.
It definitely got me. I struggled to keep tears out of my eyes the whole night. And part of it was like how good of a job everybody did and how like it made the seniors feel so celebrated. But also just like thinking back on the past 4 years and how important this program's been to me and like everything I'm achieving in my future I've learned from being here. And everything the path I'm on is because of my time here. I think it's definitely a big contributor, so it's pretty emotional for me because of that.
Definitely, we were trying not to look at her because we were all like, we're gonna cry if she starts crying. So we were all sitting there, and we were like cracking jokes about it. But then like after the game, I know it hit some of us. I hit me before the game because Ben's looked at our posters and just broke down. And then I was looking at her, and then I gave her a hug, and then I started crying, and then like parents started walking in, and they started giving me a hug, and I was like, yeah. So it hit me before, so I'm glad I got it out. But then after the game, I know I like driving home, I was like, wow. That's it, because you never think it's gonna, like as a freshman I'm like, oh, I got plenty of time before I'm a senior and I have to like go through that, but then I'm like, wow, like now it's here, I'm like, wow, it was flew by.
I think it just kind of shows the kind of team that we are and how much we just love each other and how, yeah, it was like a celebratory night, but it's also kind of like the beginning of the end of like the last couple games. So it was definitely bittersweet. I think we all definitely had mixed feelings. Like, yeah, we were so happy, but also it was definitely sad because, you know, last regular season home game and stuff. So it's kind of like a bunch of milestones that we're hitting that towards the end of the season. But yeah, I think we all had a lot of mixed emotions.
I'm incredibly proud of this team for this regular season, the 17-1 season. I'm proud of, and I've been saying it, I'm proud of how they took the lead. It was a player-driven team, so I was really proud of that at the start. I'm proud of how they continued that. I'm incredibly proud of how they handled some adversity in the middle of the season. The loss of Sid, that could have thrown the whole thing off, but we stayed the course. It wasn't always pretty, but we stayed the course. And I am a big picture person. I think that moment, that little chunk of a season, that's going to best prepare us for where we are now in this new season, which is the playoffs. But what they overcame, how they worked together, how they shared the ball, the progress they made on defense, and just how they believed in each other. This is a very special season for me. So the one hurts, the 17 and the one hurts, but I think the best lessons come from that one, and that was an eye-opener for all of us, and that was a self-reflection for all of us, and I think we come out of there stronger, better, and more confident.
Yeah, I think we did a great job this regular season. It's definitely something to be proud of. Especially, last season kind of did feel like a bit of a disappointment for us. We didn't fully reach our potential, but this year, getting that 2 seed, getting a bye, first round of playoffs, I think it's definitely something to be proud of. I think we made a lot of improvements, not only from last season, but just as the season has kind of progressed on. And yeah, now that we, starting into playoffs now, it's kind of like a clean slate. Anything could happen. We just have to keep working and keep focusing in on what we need to do.
It feels good. I feel like we have a lot to be proud of in our season. Obviously, there's that one game that we want to avenge ourselves from, but like we've been saying, there's still work to do. It's our vacation. We're here every day. This is where we want to be, because we want to be getting better and just play great in the playoffs and hopefully get to the championship game.
I feel really good about it. I think we've had majority of the same group for 2 years, and I think that all of our growth started at the beginning of last year's season. And I think that throughout the 2 years, definitely from this year to last year, there's a lot of growth that occurred. And I think even throughout this season, there's so much growth. And I think that we have really prepared well for what we have coming up. And I think that this is the time that we just need to produce. And if we can produce, I think it'll work very well for us.
I feel like I'm proud of what we have accomplished. I'm proud that we could take away from all of our games. There was something we could take away from all of our games. There's some things we need to adjust on, because some games we did better at transitioning, or some games we did better with our defense. And I'm glad that looking back, we can be proud of those moments in the season. And I'm not mad at the season at all. Obviously we could have played better. There's always room for improvement throughout the season. But for what we did and for what it is, I think we did pretty well.
I think that obviously we have a good record, and I think that reflects how hard we worked. Going in, obviously, our goal is the end goal, to make it to that championship game and to compete. But throughout the season, it's just been to work on things and to get better each and every day, and I think we've done that. And obviously that Bedford game, that our one loss, was a hard loss. It definitely was not our team at our best. But from that point, we've grown and we've built our team up, and we've worked harder at practice. We've become more competitive. And I think that's just been the story of the season. When things start going one way, we work on them and get better in that way.
I think we've accomplished a lot of stuff through the season, especially just maturity. I think we've matured a lot as a team throughout the season, and I think we're setting goals for the playoffs. We obviously want to make it to the championship, but we can't look that far ahead, and we have to take it game by game. We only have a possibility of 3 games left, so we just have to take every game as it is and try to beat each team as if they're the top dog.
Scrimmage, made them put on their uniforms. I did the clock, I did the book. Clary coached a team, Ashley coached the other team, and Drew came in his official uniform and did some officiating for us. So that, I think, is the best thing we can do to sort of take the place of a game you're not going to get in the prelims. trying to stay healthy, trying to keep our legs fresh, trying to keep the game mind in. So, and honestly, my red versus my white, while my starters are fantastic, my bench isn't half bad. You know, they'd compete with some teams in D1 on their own. So I thought that was a really good experience for them. And as you could tell, they were a little spent at the end. So I thought that was a good idea for us to do, and they were taking it very seriously. So, and now we wait for tonight. We see who wins between Dover and Keene, and then Wednesday and Thursday becomes the prep for them.
To recover and get everybody back in the gym. And then since we have this layoff and that bye, today we used our time to scrimmage against each other, which I thought was really good just to keep our legs and kind of be in a game situation.
It was awesome to have that type of experience, especially with like a real ref. And we were in our uniforms, and the idea was to treat it like it was a real game, because normally we play better when we're acting like it's a real game. So instead of having our practice uniforms on, we had our real uniforms on. And it was awesome, especially for me, because I got to lead the court when that's not normally a role that I take on unless Sydney's gone. And I feel like I had a lot more confidence today because I felt like I had to be more of a leader out there.
It definitely, just splitting the team in half got us a lot of time on the court, and I think it was really good for us for game endurance. I think that it was also really good because our team in general I think we're a really deep team, and I think that playing each other is some of the best competition that we can get. So I think it was good for us to be able to use that for playoffs and play against players that are very dynamic and can do multiple things well in order to prep for what is to come with those type of players in the playoffs.
It was nice. It's definitely what we needed. It was definitely a change from like our normal conditioning for practice, but it got us conditioned, and I felt like having not that many subs and then people coming in more fluent, so that even the people that come in after know what they're doing and they can play against like a good team.
I think it definitely helped a lot because most teams are playing a game today, so they'll have that under their belt. It definitely was good to get kind of a game feel, and we played like the full length of a game, so it's like that conditioning piece too, just staying in shape for when our game comes. So I think that was definitely beneficial. We kind of worked on different defenses and different situations and things like that we might possibly see from the teams that we play. So it was definitely good for us.
I think it's really important. I can see it sometimes at practice where we begin to slip with some intensity, and that's just kind of natural when you're practicing so many days in a row without a game. But today I saw that intensity again. People were getting competitive. It's all in good spirit. We all want to push each other to get better, but it's something that you can't really get from practice, no matter how hard you practice. The situations, all of that stuff, and that competitive drive definitely came out a lot today, and I think that'll be good looking into the rest of the playoffs.
wanted to do it just so I do think some of the lower ones are going to press us, lower seeds are going to come at us. And Dover or Keene, I have a feeling will press us the entire time. I am going to the JV championship at 4, and then I'm shooting home. I'm going to watch from TV the Dover Keene game. It's on at 6. I suggest if you have the time to take a look at it, I'll come tomorrow with my scouting report. It's something you should definitely go to. If you want to drive to Dover, on you. I'm just going to watch from the luxury of my own place. Tomorrow we'll start talking about matchups for the teams, the plays we need to run for the teams, and our defensive scheme for said teams. Who feels really strong that they can make 2 foul shots so nobody has to run in? Emily. Okay, Emily feels really strongly.
I expect it to be sad in a way because that's our actual last home game. I also expect it to be like high energy. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on us no matter who we play because each team can hold their own. It's hard to beat the same team twice, so it's gonna be a lot of pressure, gonna be a lot of energy, and I think we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun with it, and it's gonna be we need to calm ourselves down while also playing our game.
I think the energy is gonna be really good. I think that there's gonna be just a lot of hype around it, and I think that that's kind of gonna boost our emotions, and we'll feel really good about it. I think that us as a team, we always do really good with our bench energy and our energy on the court for the most part. So I think that with our energy and hopefully the energy of the fans and our parents, and it'll be very, very high energy.
I mean, anytime we have a playoff game, it just has a different feel to it, like a different atmosphere. You know, it's win or go home. Both teams are just gonna, give everything they have. So I think no matter which team we play, it's gonna be a battle, and we just gotta be ready for
We're
it.
excited for it. I think we're ready. We've worked really hard this season. We know what we need from our team to compete. No matter who it is, we know they're gonna come at us with everything. They have nothing to lose. That's kind of the burden of being the higher seed, but I think we deserve that higher spot, the higher seed, and I think we're going to show that as much as we can to the
I
players.
love when there's more people there because, especially in women's sports, there's not necessarily always the biggest crowd. So having people there supporting us is amazing. And also during practices, when we shoot foul shots, we're screaming at each other, being prepared for the crowd. And that's just something that probably no other team is doing right now. So I think that's going to give us a little bit of an
I think we
advantage.
should look back to saying oh, we won against either one of these teams. I think it's a brand new game. It's playoffs. They're going to be coming a lot harder at us than they were in the regular season. For our seniors and everybody else, it's definitely going to be a little bittersweet. It's our last home game together, and the last crowd is going to come in and watch us all play together. But I think we just got to come out and we just got to leave it all out on the floor and we got to play well.
The night it's going to be competitive because to a degree, whoever comes here to play us, they have nothing to lose. So they're going to come at us with everything they have, which is something I've been from day one trying to tell the girls. I know they think of the moment I'm talking about that particular game, but every time I say, you're Pinkerton, for most of the season you're undefeated, they're coming in after you. There's nothing to lose. That's more prep for the playoffs. You either have a 7 or a 10 seed coming in here. They beat us. It's championship. We lose. A season where you had a chance at the championship has just been ruined.